Hey, welcome in to another edition of Hit That Line. I'm your host, Zach Berry. Here with me, as always, the Legal Gambling Council. We've got Nicholas Carr, we got Ben Woodhouse, we have Austin Gray. We are going to talk SEC. We're going to do a quick preview. We are going to make sure that we get every team, and we're going to go through looking at the win totals and then give our take on over or under. And then at the end of the show, we will give some picks out for week 0. So, gentlemen, welcome in to another week. How we doing?
Making it.
Good. Ready for football.
Man, week 0. I wish it was a Thursday game, but
I
I'm
know.
ready for it.
I wish it was a better slate in general.
I hate
Oh,
week 0, to be honest with you. It's never good games.
The slate is garbage.
it's bad. Next year, I think they're going to, I mean, not that this may appeal to you guys, but I think there's going to be a full FCS slate. If nothing else, there'll be more games on. I don't think I don't think we're that far off from like a full blown week 0 within the next 8 years, I bet.
So
Like a
will they
full
just
day of
call it
games.
week 1
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
point?
I mean, that at that point, yeah, it would just be it would literally be a week 1. We would just go to 14 weeks, and then in like this year we'd have 15 weeks, so there'd be 3 buys. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's where it'd be, I think.
Yeah, I mean, nevertheless, we're going to call it. It's kind of like how people get mad about calling it fall camp when it's like 100 degrees. Like, I do feel like it's kind of dumb to say week 0, but nevertheless, we'll get to it. All right, so let's run through. We're just going to start at the top. So we'll go highest win total and just work our way down to Kentucky and Vanderbilt. So starting off, this one shouldn't take very long. Georgia, we talked about it last week. The number's 9.5. The Bulldogs don't lose home games. The defense is going to have players, and I think that Mike Bobo is going to be smart enough to put Gunnar Stockton in position to succeed. Uh, I think we all kind of agreed last week as well that this might look like an old school Georgia team where it's a lot of running the football, controlling tempo, and you know, kind of playing a little keep away. But yeah, I'm going over. Um, their home slate is insane. They get tough games at home, and like I said, Georgia doesn't lose at home, so I'm going over
It's 10 and a half. That's what you said, right?
9.5.
9.5. Yeah. At 10 and a half, even still, I'd be there. And they
This
get
was
10.
a lock for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think we're kind of all in agreement here. Austin.
Yeah, same, same. I wouldn't bet it, but I do agree with you over. The schedule is really, really manageable. Their three toughest games are all at home where they just don't lose. Their road games are at State, at Auburn, and at Tennessee. That's it.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Like literally,
Yeah.
that's it.
Oh, and yeah, that's right. Because they get two neutrals. They get a neutral against Georgia Tech. Yeah,
Exactly.
neutral against Georgia Tech. And Georgia Tech sold their soul for a neutral game, and the neutral against Florida. That's a
Yeah.
joke.
So
Honestly, the juice is pretty. It's not that bad. I would have said it would be like 200 or more. I see it at 170.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know that I'd bet it, but I
This
think you
is
feel pretty good.
so this is from today. Say, and this book is what book is this? BetMGM. It's overs minus 190, unders plus 160.
I wonder if you bought it to 10.5, could you get like a plus
Yeah.
over?
Well, it's usually worth what, 70 cents for a half win. Um, so if you do the quick math on that,
Plus 150.
Plus 170, 150,
mhm.
Once, yeah.
170.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a pretty safe
That's a
bet.
lot of wins, though. 10 and a half.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of one of those things where Georgia's in that territory now. They've kind of earned it. So, right there with them, Texas 9.5. Um, I'm going over here as well. I mean, 10-2 gets it done. I think Texas is arguably a top 5 team in the country. Um, Another defense that's absolutely loaded. You bring back 3 All Americans on the defense. You've got a really good portal class up front because Texas lost a ton on the defensive line. Um, and then Arch Manning. I think that kind of like what I said about Bobo and Stockton, I think Sark's going to ease him into it, and the run game is going to help. You got Trey Wisner. CJ Baxter's been making a lot of noise in camp coming off the injury. Um, I think they're gonna put him in position to make some plays. And look, I know we made lots of jokes about him last year with all the hype, and I don't know. I think he's going to be pretty damn good. Now I don't know if it'll be right away. He'll have some lumps because he's young. He's going to have some games where he makes some bonehead plays, but DeAndre Moore, Ryan Wingo, the tight end Jake Indries from Cal basically steps right in for Gunnar Helm. So I think 10-2 is manageable for Texas. But yeah, I'm going over.
That Ohio State game is kind of like the crux of it because I mean I would think we would say that their SEC slate is about as easy as you're going to find. I mean,
Ridiculous.
yeah, their strength of schedule is like fourth from bottom in the SEC. If you look at the whole picture, if you just look at the conference, it's got to be the easiest. I mean, it's a joke. Their road games are at Kentucky and at State.
Yep.
And their only two road games they could lose are Georgia and Florida, and I don't think they can lose to Florida. So it's really just Georgia, and then their home games. You know, obviously they got the neutral against Oklahoma, and the home games are Vanderbilt, Arkansas, and A&M. It's if they didn't have Ohio State on there, I think the number would easily be 10.5.
Mm-hmm.
Because you brought Ohio State up, who are you picking right now in that game?
I think it's got Ohio State, right? I don't.
Yeah.
Like, are y'all in love with Texas? No. In any other
No.
year, are they a preseason number one? I don't think so. They're going on the road to a top 5 team. Why would I pick that team? You know,
First year starter. They're replacing what? 8 starters on defense?
well, who's the best player on the field in that game?
Probably Colin Simmons.
Ohio State's receiver, Jared. What's his name?
Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith. It's Jeremiah Smith. Okay.
If
And
he's
at home.
better than the other receiver,
Who the first? Look, Ohio
Right.
State has the two best players.
The
on
two,
the-
the two best players.
Who's the other one?
Their safety, the transfer from Bama.
oh,
What's
that's
his
what I
name?
meant.
Caleb Downs, yeah.
Sorry. I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
receiver.
I mean, my thing about that game is just what Texas has on defense. Like it's a loaded unit going up against a guy that's never been the guy. I mean, I sent that stat today about first year starters going up against the number 1 team winless.
And I like Arch better than Julian Sand right out of the gate. But
Sure.
the shoe is going to be buzzing. Ohio State has the two best players on the field. Now, I think Ohio State's going to take a step back defensively. They lost a ton on that side of the ball, including their defensive coordinator to Penn State, which is a weird move. But I don't know, man. Like, would you rather have the better receiver, the better player, or the better quarterback?
See,
Yeah.
that's
Also-
I guess they're going to bracket Jeremiah Smith, right? And just make
I
the
assume.
throw to someone else because
Yeah.
you're not going to cover him one-on-one.
No. Also, the whole stat about first year quarterback never beat the number 1 team. It's only because they're getting to face the number 1 team. I mean, what about a first year quarterback if they ever beaten the number 3 team on the road? Like, it's probably also no. I don't know that, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, it's probably the same thing for Arch in reverse. And Arch is better than Julian Sayin, but I mean, he's still a first year starter at number 3 on the road. Big Dune Saturday. I mean, it's the biggest game
and
of
a
the first
more
week.
talented team. Let's be honest. Like
Yeah.
Ohio
Look,
State
That's true.
likely has more talent than Texas.
So for
I don't
all
think
the
there's any doubt about that,
I mean,
honestly.
it's probably pretty close. I mean,
Well,
come
look,
on.
for all the talent that Ohio State lost on the defensive side of the ball, Texas only returns 46 career starts on the offensive line. So,
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest question because they got one starter and one guy that played a lot when Kelvin Banks was hurt, and the other guys are talented, but they haven't played a lot. So
and Texas lost their right tackle during camp like 2 weeks ago. So,
Yeah. And I still think Texas is a little bit of a product of who they played last year.
for sure.
If Texas had Florida's schedule last year and went 8-4, would anybody be saying they're the number 1 team in the country? No, absolutely not.
Look,
It was very schedule dependent. I mean, I thought we were significantly better than Texas last year, and they, we saw the results by the end of the year.
yeah,
And I thought Ole Miss was significantly better than
yeah.
Texas.
You saw what they did with Georgia.
and we don't need to spend too much time on this because we got to get rolling. But
Yeah,
I
right,
mean,
right.
I'm a little bit closer to this one now that I cover Texas, but I typically go better quarterback, and I think Texas has the edge on defense. Yeah, as long as Jeremiah Smith doesn't go like Jackson Smith and Jigba in the Rose Bowl, I think Texas can win it. But I mean, it's going to be a hell of a
Yeah.
week one game. It's
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
fun
yeah,
as
it's awesome.
Mhm.
All
Then
right.
look, the, the
I
the
can't
topic
only
was over under. I think
yeah,
Texas goes over
I do
because of
too.
yeah,
their schedule.
Yeah.
yeah,
I can
yeah.
only dream of a matchup like this. I mean, we got one kind of with Florida State back in the day. Gosh, it's been a
Yeah.
decade now. But I just can only dream of a big opening matchup. It's just I get such FOMO watching LSU play somebody big every week, Notre Dame play
Watch
Clemson.
somebody
LSU
big week
lose in week
one.
one. Yeah, LSU ain't gonna be
USC.
week one.
We're
It's
Yeah.
playing Mercer,
yeah, yeah.
Georgia State.
no, I'm saying like that's what we
Oh, the
about are getting.
equivalent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Mercer, Georgia State, about the same thing actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Austin, you going over?
Yeah, over because of the schedule. Even if I have some doubts about Arch, not doubts, just let's call it skepticism. I mean, I think Spurrier was trolling, but also had a point. Like if he was significantly better than Ewers, why didn't he play last year? Um, I think he's going to be good. I think he adds a threat, a dual threat that Ewers did not bring to the table. So I think Sark is going to make some hay with Arch's legs as well as his arm. Uh, and I
Yeah.
think their schedule is just so soft that, it's going to be hard to find three losses on that schedule.
Which is another thing with Arch, like the schedule's soft, so like he can get nice and comfy,
That's right.
and they could be cooking in October.
Yeah.
I mean, after that Ohio State game, they really don't play anybody
No,
until Georgia.
yeah, and that's it, and you can go 10-2.
Yeah.
All right, Alabama 9.5. I don't get it. I really don't. Um, Now this is another program that's got a lot of talent everywhere, kind of like the first two teams we talked about. It's the year of question mark at quarterback everywhere, all over the country. Is Ty Simpson just going to step in and just be awesome? I mean, he hasn't really played. Um, Jam Miller got hurt this
Mhm.
week. He's going to be out for a period of time. I know they got Ryan Williams. They're going to throw him the ball a lot. Um, I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked at the schedule. I'm sure this might be kind of like Texas, where the schedule is pretty favorable. I mean,
It's
I
it's
still,
somewhat favorable.
yeah, I still lean over. But if Ty Simpson has a blow up game and throws four picks, it wouldn't surprise me. And Alabama goes 9-3 again and misses the playoffs. So, and Alabama
See,
was fortunate last year a couple times.
yeah.
South
They,
Carolina should have beat them.
For sure.
And you can get
I
that
don't,
at minus 115. It's like it's pretty well in the middle there on the over
Even
under.
Jews, yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
I just don't think they have a lot of losable games. They host LSU, they host Oklahoma, they go to Georgia. Let's give them a loss there.
Give them a
Where's the
loss.
other loss?
Give them a loss to South Carolina. They'd still have to lose a home game to Tennessee or LSU
Look, I think the
Or at
one on the
Auburn.
schedule that's
or not.
tricky is Missouri, actually. I
Yeah,
think
that's right. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
listen, they're
11 a.m. though. That helps.
as funny as this sounds, I think it's true. They're gonna have Vandy circled on October 4th because of what
Oh
happened
yeah,
last year.
they
So
are.
like they're gonna beat Vandy by 50, but they're gonna put some energy into that game. And then Mizzou is on deck before Tennessee. So you've got,
Yeah.
an important game in Vandy, really important game in Tennessee, and they go to Columbia in between. I mean, that's the one, if they do blow one, if they do have an Oklahoma-like or Vanderbilt-like performance this year, I think it's probably at Mizzou. But I'm with y'all. I think it's probably over. The number feels sharp. Look, all these numbers are sharp at this point in the year. The markets have been
Yeah.
shaped for like 8 months now. So the number's sharp, but I don't know. I agree with Zach. Like, who knows what you get out of the quarterback? I think there's a lot of revisionism going on with the SEC quarterbacks this year. And look, some people may say this for Ole Miss too, and it's probably fair. But like a lot of people are like, Georgia's going to be fine without Beck. Bama's going to be just fine without Milrow. I'm just not so sure, man. Like, I know Milrow wasn't elite, but I don't remember. I'm not a Bama fan, so maybe they would say, they're these four games you're not thinking about. But do y'all remember a game that Milrow lost for them? I remember several that he won for them. LSU, he ran all over. He beat Georgia. You know,
Yeah. I
I,
mean,
I, I
the bonehead play in the Rose Bowl, but I mean, that was 2 years ago.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, like and he won a ton of games with his legs.
Well, exactly. Exactly.
Like Ty
That's my
Simpson's
point.
not doing that.
Simpson's not going to do that. He's not going to bail you out when things break down. Again, it's not to say they can't win 10 or 11 games. They can. I just think this whole like, we're going to be much better now that we've gotten rid of that bomb Jalen Milroy. Like, I don't, I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning of last year, he was a Heisman candidate.
It's exactly,
Now,
exactly.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Ole Miss, 8.5. I'm going over. Schedule's nice. A lot of people in that building around college football, media people that I've talked to say, don't worry about the experience. They think Austin Simmons is special. I don't think it's even crazy to say anymore. I think the wide receiver room is better than it was last year. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're going to see a big year out of Daquan Wright. Another year in the system, he's going to be much more comfortable. He doesn't have Caden Prieskorn, breathing down his neck, whining about playing time. And then if you get Luke Haas back, that's just an added bonus. And again, I've said it all off season. I'm not going to not believe in a Pete Golding defense until he proves me otherwise. He's done a phenomenal job, and last year, loaded defense, one of the best in the country, top 5 in several major categories, and he is still excited about this group. He thinks that the defensive line is has a chance to be special. Hearing a lot more buzz about the secondary, figuring things out, and then you got 2 experienced dudes at linebacker and Suntarian Perkins and TJ Daughtery, and then they like the transfers too. So I don't know. I think if the offensive line can just be okay, I think this is an Ole Miss team that can really turn it up. I mean, I think going from Jackson Dart to Austin Simmons, I'm really excited to see what Lane Kiffin does offensively because it's a very different style, and could maybe see a little more kind of what he did at Bama, and then like a little mix of what he did with Corral. Like I know Corral was mobile, he was very underrated athletically, but
Mhm.
they don't want Simmons running around. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going over. I'm pretty bullish on this team, just from talking to people and just kind of what I've seen from the defense.
I think it's an over. I think Ole Miss could lose to LSU at home and at Oklahoma and hit the over here. So I like this number at 8.5. This is the best number I think we've had so far, and that's not because I'm an Ole Miss guy. I just think it's a game too low with this schedule. Now, one thing that gives me pause is Ole Miss. I know what we hear out of camp from reporters as opposed to coaches. I'm not big on the offensive line. I lean, and not only that, it's thin and it's also banged up. And I think that when we play a team like right now, Ole Miss fans are counting South Carolina as a win because of what happened last year. That's a good matchup for them if our offensive line is banged up because they've got guys like Dylan Stewart who are going to be able to get after Austin Simmons. Same for Florida, right? Like those teams are going to have good front sevens. And so for Ole Miss to make sure that those games are wins and to hit this over, the offensive line is going to have to be shored up, or Austin Simmons is going to have to be more mobile than I anticipate that he is. Otherwise, but either way, I think that there's too many toss ups that I would call a quote toss up that lean towards Ole Miss. Like you've got, like LSU's a toss up, but I'm going to say Ole Miss is probably favored by 3 or 4 in that game. Same for South Carolina. Ole Miss probably favored 7.5. Florida, Ole Miss probably favored 6.5 or 7.5. So they're toss ups in that they're 1-score games, but really Ole Miss should win. And so with that, for that reason, I think the number, a sharper number would be 9.5, but I'm going to go over 8.5, a smooth over on this one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, no, I've said it before. I think that Ole Miss is going to be really good. I don't know that the depth maybe is there, like defensively. Last year we probably had more depth, especially up front. But I think that there's some seriously skilled guys that are going to be on that defensive line. I think it's going to be really good. I don't. There's not like a Walter Nolan that's going to jump off the page because he was former top 5 recruit. But I mean, I I think that Xavier Harris is really, really good. I think that Womack that we brought in from LSU is going to be really good. And I was a little skeptical because he didn't really have the numbers, but it seems like he's going to be pretty good. I think the defense is going to be really good. I think the secondary is going to be really good. I think the offense is better at every single position other than quarterback and maybe a couple of spots on the offensive line. Which I guess, it's like, okay, that's a big deal. But I think as a whole, the O-line is not going to take a step back. I think that you're going to upgrade and that you've got a couple of returners. Okay, they can't be any worse, right? Because they're coming back. They should be better. And I think you get at least Kudus. I think it's going to be better. And then tight ends, I think it's a better room. Wide receivers, Zach, you said like I don't think it's questionable to say it's a better room. I think it'd be crazy to say it's not a better room. Like absurd to say it's so much better of a wide receiver room. Last year it was Harris and Caden Lee, and Harris was broken half the time. I mean, the guy played.
So was Jordan Watkins. He got hurt a lot too. I mean, he played through it.
You're right.
But he was injured too.
100%. I think if you took all the snaps that we were down last year, I would love to see the percentage of them in which Trey Harris was still available in that game. He was never, if we were losing, he was always out of the game at that point, which maybe is like a cause and effect thing. But the point is that he was just not there when we needed big catches. It was Caden Lee and a hurt Watkins, and the receiver room this year is deep. And I think we kind of get on Kiffin because Ole Miss doesn't use a lot of receivers, which, maybe that's the case, but I don't know that he's had the opportunity to use a lot of receivers.
That's fair.
Maybe that changes this year because there are 5 or 6 guys that can catch a pass. So
And-
I think it's an easy over. I think Ole Miss is going to get one of those games against Oklahoma or Georgia. And then I kind of think Ole Miss may go. Yeah, I mean that's not crazy. Oklahoma's not.
No,
great.
Oklahoma's not, but including Georgia in there.
Well, my point is we won't go 0-2 there. I think it's obvious which game we think
if
we'll
we
probably
split Oklahoma
win.
and Georgia, we're going 11-1.
Yeah, and I think it's a 7-1 or 8-0 home schedule. I mean, I like yeah.
And like before you go, Austin, real quick, what Nick said. I mean, because of the difference in style of quarterback, maybe Ole Miss goes more 4 and 5 wide, like quick intermediate stuff, spread it around. Like you had the luxury of Dart taking shots downfield because if things broke down, he would just take off and run. Whereas I think with Simmons, they want to keep him healthy and they're going to do some quick stuff. And you've got the dudes with Caden Lee, Traylon Ray, you got Deuce Alexander. I think Stripling's going to be a monster. And, they really like Winston Watkins. So, that's like the biggest thing I'm excited about is seeing how different the offense could look.
Yeah, I mean, despite my reservations, I'm going to go over here slightly. I'm not, I think Nick said easy over. I'm definitely not in easy over territory. I do like the way the schedule sets up. I like the fact that, unlike last year, our toss-ups are at home this year. I mean, I know in going into the South Carolina game last year, we didn't really think of that as a toss-up, and we absolutely dominated them there. But in retrospect, that team, that probably should have been closer to a toss-up game, right? I mean, it's just that we were dominant in our wins last year, and our losses were by the thinnest of thin margins. So I think we're going to have to get used to a different style of winning this year. I think the margins are going to be razor thin for us, even in wins as opposed to in losses last year. I think there are going to be we're going to be cardiac kids in a lot of ways. I think we're going to win some, 3-point, 4-point, 7-point games, because I think Kiffin's going to lean on the defense. I think, he mentioned earlier in camp that we're going to have a more blue collar approach, a more blue collar team. So my suspicion is that means what Zach said, some more, intermediate routes involving the tight ends, both of which are really good. I think we've got the best tight end room in the country. I think some people would laugh at that, but they just don't know who Daquan Wright is yet. They should know who Haas is, but I think in Kiffin's offense, it's a whole different animal. I think when they're healthy, nobody in the country has those two guys. I think the running back room is upgraded. I think the wide receiver room is certainly deeper than it was last year. And Trey Harris, hope he does well in the NFL. He was a good Rebel. His highs were really high, but Trey Harris's lows were really low too. Like not only injury issues, but like some pretty critical turnovers and drops and huge
Dropped a big pass against LSU.
game.
Lost the game against Kentucky.
Yep.
Was that one against Florida? Did they call that one where he hurt himself against Florida? Did they call that an incomplete pass? I can't
Yeah.
remember.
I
Have
I
it
can't
right
remember
there.
either, but we didn't end up scoring on that though, did we? If
No,
even if yeah.
I think we may have kicked a field goal, worst
Okay. Yeah.
case, and he would have had the ball at like the 10.
Yeah.
Point is that you just listed multiple big falters in we only had 3 losses.
We listed the three losses. That's
Yeah,
the
like
three,
that's
like
for
the
the
three
3 games.
runs. Yeah, the three games.
Now, he
Again,
had some big moments too, but like
and
he
that's not
had
to
some.
knock the guy. Like he was great. He was a great
Yeah,
Right.
friend.
correct.
He was a great player for us. Like for every one of those moments, there's like a Texas A&M game where he was just incredible. So like I'm not hating. I'm just saying it's just there's just the truth of the matter, which is
Just
that
a guy.
in
Just
big
a man.
moments,
Yeah.
shit happened. And I just don't think that's going to happen this year. And because we have some options. And maybe the reason that some of that happened to Trey was like he was the only guy we had, or the only guy we trusted. And so when you go to somebody enough, it's more likely over time that, it doesn't, the coin doesn't end up heads, you end up tails at some point, right? So all that to say, wide receiver room is definitely deeper. It's also more versatile. And I think versatility in a wide receiver room can go kind of unnoticed sometimes. In other words, we've got big, strong guys who can go over the top. We've got fast guys. We've got guys out of the slot. I think we can do whatever you need to do. You need to get 7 yards, we can get 9. You need to get 30 yards, we can get 50, right? I think we've got some options there. So it all comes down to offensive line for me. Can we protect Austin Simmons? Can we give him enough time to get his feet under him? Because he's going to make mistakes probably more often than we want him to. We don't have the runway that we had last year with the schedule. Last year we had 4 essentially layup games. And then by the time we met Kentucky, we weren't really ready for that adversity that we encountered in that game. It's not true this year. I mean, and by week 2, Simmons is going to have to be ready to go on the road in a hostile environment against a team that plays to keep it close, that plays to hang around and force a turnover and end up beating you, 21-17. So he needs the offensive line to come around. I know they're banged up right now. I think that's half the problem. I think the other half is probably not as talented as we need to be there, and certainly not as deep as we want to be. But maybe we find our footing. I do think the defense is going to be good. I trust Pete Golding. As long as Pete's here, I think we're going to have a good defense. I trust his ability to evaluate, find players, and develop them, put them in positions to succeed. That's all he's done since he's been here. I think he likes the toys he's got on that side of the ball. The secondary was a concern coming in, but it sounds like those guys have come along. We've developed some depth there. That they were also, injured, banged up in the spring and summer. Now they're starting to get healthy. Sounds like we've got some pieces back there. So I think it's not going to be sexy, flashy Ole Miss from years past. Certainly last year we beat every game we won last year was by double digits, right? Everybody we beat them by double digits. I don't think that's happening this year. I think we're going to win our share of games, 9, 10 games. I just think we're going to be in some absolute dog fights. And it's going to take patience on our side and a little bit of luck, which did not go our way last year.
We
But
were 0-3 in one-score games last year.
0-3 1 score. Yep. So I'll go over.
0-3 in games decided by less than 10 points.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it swings back this year because 2 years ago it was the other way around.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
I agree with everything you just said. One thing that scares the daylights out of me is the way Kentucky plays, and
Yep.
you got to
They
jump
played us
on
close
them.
every year. They have played Kiffin close every year.
They really should have beat us in 22,
Yep.
and then they had the ball down inside our 20 twice in the fourth quarter, and we caused turnovers both times.
Will Levis.
Yep.
Fortunately, they don't have Barry and Brown. And
Yeah.
while he's not a good player, quote unquote, he's good against us.
I'm gonna tell you, man, they're gonna miss Dane Key more than
Yeah.
Barry Brown.
Yeah.
Dude, last year, even against Trey Amos, he had a big game against us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, Kentucky was bad last year. That was a pretty good team back in 22. And I'd also say both times we've played them the last 2 times, it was not their first big game of the season. They played
Right.
Georgia last year when we were
South
at Wake
Carolina and
Forest.
Georgia.
Yeah, that's right. And then that's exactly right. And then they played Florida a couple weeks prior when we played them back in 2022, just looking up the schedule. So I really think there's something to that. We just kind of sleptwalked. We did have Georgia Tech, I guess you could say, back in that 2022 team, but we had 3 other non-conference games. We'd played nobody, Tulsa,
Keep in
UCA,
mind,
and Troy.
back in COVID, it took overtime to beat them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they
Yeah.
ran
I mean,
Elijah Moore
Stoops
rub
plays
route.
Kiffin close, man. I don't. He's got
But
his number.
it's just been a better Kentucky team. I mean, last year they were terrible, and then that was on us. I think that was a sleepwalking thing. You know, we hadn't played anybody. They're over under this year's 4.5. Like there's it. I just think we have this boogeyman because they beat us last year, which you know we should. They
Well,
beat us last year, but I don't think they're very
think,
good.
the
and I
the
think
other thing is their style of play is sort of unique in the new SEC in this era. Stoops is content to take the air out of the ball and like drag you into a mud fight, Big Ten style. And I just think for whatever reason that has confounded Kiffin. I think
Right.
Kiffin
He
struggled with
won't.
that.
He won't leave the hurry up himself. Like
Ben,
he'll just he'll kick it right back to him.
you talked about this, I think 2 years ago, or maybe even last year. Kentucky, you play them, you look up, and it's the third quarter all of a sudden. You're like, wait a second, there's 6 minutes left in the fucking third quarter. How do we get here? What happened? Right? It's
I
like
think
that
they
every
had the.
year.
I think they had the ball 22 or 23 minutes of the first half last year against us. Dude, they get it to like 3rd and 3, play clock down to 1, 4-yard gain.
Yep.
3rd and 3, play clock down to 1, 4-yard gain. Then it's the end of the first quarter, 3-0. You're
Yep.
like, it's like Jeff Fisher. You're like,
Exactly.
come on, man.
I was going to say they lost by 25 points to South Carolina last year and 28 points to Florida. Like they're
What was their
yeah,
score against Georgia? What was their score against Georgia
okay,
last year?
okay. It was 13-12.
I
Yeah,
mean, we got to
absolutely.
be all things equal. You got what was their score against
Yeah,
Georgia?
of course. My point is that
What
like
was their score against Ole Miss?
they do
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
things
like,
that y'all say they do, but they do come out and just get absolutely mud stomped at times as well. Like, yes, they do look up and it's 13-12 and they should have gone for it at the 50-yard line and stuff against
well,
Georgia and probably beaten them. But then they also come out and just lay an egg against the South
That's,
Carolina team
but,
who's
but
not
you're
playing
talking
good at
about
the time.
last year. Last year was an anomaly for Stoops. Prior to last year, he'd average what, like 7 wins a season there?
yeah,
Yeah,
7.5 wins a year.
I
And
was
he
gonna say
look,
South Carolina blew the doors off of them.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's similar, and we can move on from Kentucky and Ole Miss, but I think it's similar to like playing a triple option team, right? You get out on them early, and you can bury them. Like they're done at that point because they can't
Right.
drag you back into it.
But
But
if you don't,
if you go to halftime at 7-3, the
Mhm.
game is suddenly close at the end. Like you're not coming out and winning that game 28-3.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They'll keep the ball. They'll take 3 knees before they do that.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. We can kind of pick up the pace a little bit here. Tennessee 8.5. I'm going under just because I just think a lot from last year. Like Dylan Sampson gone, won them a lot of games last year. Lost a good bit on the defensive side, and I just don't trust Joey Aguilar. I mean, we talked about it last week. Dude struggled to win games in the Sun Belt. I don't think he's just going to waltz into the SEC and win. So I'm going under because of the hook too. Like Tennessee could go 8-4 and you still get paid. So I'm going under.
Same. I locked it in last week under for all the reasons you said, among others. I also feel like Heupel even knows this is kind of a rebuilding year for them based on the fact that they didn't go in the portal and go buy a Missouri starter or go buy a starter out of the Big 12 or something. Like they went with Joey Aguilar. Like that tells me they were keeping their powder dry maybe for thinking like this isn't the roster. There's no point in going to get TCU's quarterback or Baylor's quarterback or whatever because we don't have the dudes this year. Let's save some money for a playoff run next year or 2 years from now. I think they know they don't have it. It's under all day for me.
I think if you flip the location of the Georgia and Florida games on Tennessee's schedule, I would go over. But because they play Georgia at home and at Florida, I'm going to go under. Like you would rather take the loss to Georgia on the road,
Mm.
get Florida at home, and potentially beat them. But now they've got to go to the swamp and play
Yeah.
Georgia at home. I think it's under. I think it's pretty well. So I think it's a little sharp, but under.
I think it's pretty sharp. I mean, let's just say they're losing to Florida and say they're losing to Georgia and Bama, but I don't necessarily see another loss unless I'm just overlooking it, if that makes sense. Like I see 3 games I feel pretty confident they're probably going to lose. But I got to find a fourth one. Vanderbilt, I don't necessarily think.
They have Mizzou,
Man,
right? Do they?
No.
Tennessee? No, they don't have Missouri.
Yeah, I'm
No,
trying
they
to
don't have
They
Missouri.
play at Kentucky.
They play at Kentucky, and then they play Oklahoma at home. I kind of actually am thinking over, and I'm not in love with this Tennessee team, but the schedule is I mean, there's 4 week schedules in the SEC. It's us, it's Missouri, it's Texas, and it's Tennessee, and we're talking about one of them here. So, and there's no Ohio State on there. There's Syracuse, and ETSU, and UAB, and New Mexico State, and Diego Pavia is not walking through that door.
September 27th.
There's no way. It's a bridge too far. It's about
At
4 bridges too
Starkville.
far.
Mississippi State. They're going to wear the interlocking helmets. That's worth like a touchdown or 10 points.
It's a whiteout
I'll tell
game,
y'all
isn't it?
this. Their fans are they're creeped toward they are being Mississippi State are now circling Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
Like that is their win. That kicks off the Levy revival.
Yeah.
If I was an odds maker, I would have an alternate line 6.5 and see if I could just take some money from some MSU fans.
Oh my God. If could absolutely take some money.
I lean towards over on Tennessee only because I look at it and I just don't really see a fourth loss.
I don't disagree with you, Nick. That
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of short too.
It's a tough line there.
Yeah.
I don't think Joey Aguilar is bad.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna lose him a bad game. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna lay an egg against somebody, and Tennessee will not have an answer offensively.
They do have two pretty
listeners
built-in
should
losses.
The listener should note that whereas if you're in South Mississippi, you really hate LSU as an Ole Miss fan or their rival, and Mississippi State. Mississippi State's the arch rival, right? We'll just get that out of the way. In South Mississippi, North Mississippi people, it's a Tennessee deal. But for Austin, Tennessee may be above State when it comes to so.
That's fair. Guilty.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
no lies.
Austin and I are out front of that crowd leading the charge.
Yeah.
I can't stand them.
After that 21 game, I'm
Dude,
telling you.
walking out of Neyland Stadium, you couldn't tell me nothing that night.
Yeah. They tried though. They tried to tell you something.
they did.
Their actions spoke louder than words for sure.
All right, LSU 8.5. This one's interesting because of the recent Garrett Nussmeier injury news. I know that Brian Kelly's downplaying as much as he can. We talked about it last week. The tendonitis thing it's gonna be a talking point every week for LSU, because I think you lose 2 NFL tackles. So what's the O-line going to look like? How much protection will Nussmeier have? For some reason, LSU's getting a lot of hype for the skill players. Dude, I could not. I legitimately can't name a wide receiver. I know they got one transfer.
They got the
Barry
Anderson
Brown.
brothers.
Yeah, Barry and Brown.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Nick
right.
Anderson from Oklahoma, and there's another Anderson. I'm not
The
sure where he's from.
Aaron Anderson kid's an Edna Carr.
They do
Yeah.
not have Lacey, though, or
No.
whatever his name,
They don't have. I agree. They don't have Lacey.
Jeez.
or is similar.
Yeah. So what's
Lacey.
running back look like? Harold Perkins. What are they going to do with him? Is he coming off the edge? Are they going to play him at linebacker? And then you got Whit Weeks, and that's kind of it. Like
I get on front of this. I think they go under, my friend.
What is it's 7.5?
8.5.
It's 8.5.
I think they go under.
The funny thing
They
is,
play
I
go ahead.
was gonna say if LSU goes 9-3, they're gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Well, they're going 9-3. I think they could go. All I got to do is find another loss. They play at Clemson, at Ole Miss, and at Alabama.
Oh,
You give me one more loss. They play at Oklahoma. They host South Carolina.
They host
They
Florida.
host A&M. Yes, host Florida. There's
Host
some
South
losses
Carolina.
on this schedule. I
The-
think they're 8-4. I do 7-5, 8-4.
There's like a thing about Brian Kelly in week 1 and how bad he is, and then he's like, you know what? Let's just schedule Clemson on the road week 1 too. Like, yeah,
He
we're
might just
already have a
be-
built-in loss. Like,
He might just be going up there to work on his dialect.
could
Wants to
that
hear
be-
some-
So
Wants to hear some
So
South
if he-
Carolina people talk.
if he goes 7-5, well, I'll let y'all finish. If he goes under though, do they fire him? Under
No.
8.5?
No,
No, I don't
but
think so.
but 2026 will be hot.
Agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the buyout is outrageous, right? Like, I don't think they
Yeah,
can
Yeah.
50
I
or
mean,
60 million now.
it
Yeah.
Or
has to be.
something.
Yeah.
I also think I think too they'll give him another year because there's a little uncertainty in the schedule. I mean, you could say, hey, it's unfair we fire a guy who played the same SEC schedule back to back years. Like what we don't know what he does when he's not playing this exact same slate. It's a pretty tough slate. I mean,
Mhm.
Bama, Ole Miss, kind of at their peak as good as we've been. South Carolina had a once in a decade team last year, has the same quarterback back this year. I just think it's kind of a raw deal if you fire a guy who had two mediocre seasons and with the same schedule. Like you're not expecting anything differently because you have the same schedule.
I mean, dude, let's go through the schedule real quick before we move on. Clemson, I'm saying L.
L. Yeah.
Louisiana Tech win. Florida toss up.
Yeah.
They're beat Florida.
CLA win. Ole Miss, I'm saying Ole Miss beats LSU. South Carolina, that's a toss up. Vandy, a win. A&M could be a toss up.
Number. Yeah.
Alabama, loss.
Loss.
Arkansas, that's a win.
Yeah.
Western Kentucky win, and then Oklahoma to end the year, toss up.
Yeah.
I mean, brother, we talked about it
What
last
did
week.
y'all pick, Austin and Nick? Did y'all pick over?
I think it's right on, man. I don't know. I think it may come down to the Ole Miss game. I think that may decide their total.
They've got like
That
6 games. If you're counting Alabama as a loss, they've got like 6 games. They need to go 4-2 in.
and we,
At like 6 games,
yeah,
including Clemson, Florida, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. Like, good
yeah.
luck.
Well, and you mentioned that Ole Miss game, Austin. What happens if by halftime Ole Miss has 5 sacks?
Yeah.
Garrett Nussmeier going to come out with the shoulder pads off?
Well, that's another thing too. That again, not to make everything always come back to Ole Miss here, but Kiffin has done a really good job. Now, fortunately, we've had a lot of wins and we've been playing relevant football late in the season. But he's done a good job of holding the roster together by and large, even with transfers. Guys don't really cash in their chips, like in week 10 for us. I do wonder, like, do you trust Brian Kelly to hold a mercenary roster together if, say, they've got 3 losses
No.
by Halloween?
Dude,
Like,
I feel
no.
like
Yeah,
Kiffin is way more likable
yeah,
players coach than Brian Kelly. I mean,
yeah.
So,
all I'm saying
yeah.
is if you're in trouble, dude, if you're on that video department team, you better be calling in sick.
I mean, if there's a hurricane out in the Gulf, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Not getting on a scissor lift, I'll tell you that. Yeah, this one's interesting because again, like the schedule's not great and
Yeah.
Nussmeier's health.
Look, we know they're going to have good players because LSU always has good players, but you never know how good because certain radio personalities out of Baton Rouge can't not say that it's like an elite LSU. Well, they're going to have 2 or 3 NFL receivers. They're going to have 3 or 4 NFL defensive linemen. It doesn't matter if they do or don't. They're going to say that every offseason. So, like, you don't – they have a very aggressively biased media. And they also get that love nationally.
I was going to say, yeah, it's not just down there. It's
Yeah.
the national buy-in every year.
Yeah. I mean, they truly, for whatever reason, and now some of it's justified. Like some years, I mean, gosh, 2019 maybe the best team ever,
Yeah.
but I just have to believe it before I see it. Like they are so much. I've always felt like when in the SEC West, like Alabama, especially under Saban, was so elite that like you had to get breaks to beat them.
Mhm.
With LSU, you really don't have to have. You just have to play well,
Yeah.
and you can beat them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they kind of have a history of they kind of stub their toe a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Brian
I
Kelly,
mean,
especially.
you got you go back to '09 when Les Miles can't doesn't know how a clock works. Um, Jaden Daniels did some bonehead stuff a couple years ago.
Hell, last year they get absolutely blitzed by Texas A&M because they can't figure out how to defend the fucking zone read with Marcel Reed. I mean,
Yeah. Um, yeah, that one's interesting. All right, let's move on down.
Just to finish on LSU, real quick on Nussmeier, either one of two things: either he is healthy, or their media is significantly tighter lipped than I think even we would have thought. Like, have you heard of Peep? Since they posted a picture like 2 weekends ago when they had a scrimmage,
It was
and they posted a picture on their Twitter, and then Brian Kelly came out and was like, "It's a 1.5," and nothing's been said about it since then. So either it's really state controlled media, or he's totally healthy. I just don't know which it is.
yeah. I mean, I saw like one video where they're like, "See, he doesn't have a knee sleeve on," which that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
Um. All right.
He's fine until he's not, right?
right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Missouri 7.5. I'll make it quick. I'm going over. We all like to make fun of him for good reason because he's a dork, but Eli Drinkwitz is a good coach. I think they like what they've got at quarterback in Pribula. They're going to have some dudes that can. We joke about LSU where it's like, well, they got receivers. I feel like Missouri just kind of always has at least one guy that's pretty damn good,
Yeah.
and they always seem to have a pretty solid D. And yeah, I mean, we said it last week. What's the stat? Like Drinkwitz has won like 24 games in the last
Yeah.
3 years.
23 games the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a dweeb, but he wins. So in 7.5, I mean, just go 8-4. I think Missouri can do that.
Agreed. I think their defense is going to be really good, actually. We talked about this last week. I don't know offensively. I trust Drink to figure it out, but defensively, I think they're like a top 5 team in the SEC defensively. I think they're going to be able to salt some teams away, man. I'm telling you, Bama goes there. That's tricky.
Yeah, they've got 4 non-conference wins. I think they're beating Kansas. They've got Vanderbilt and Mississippi State. I mean, I just got to get 2 more.
Yeah.
Right, and that, and it's a whole bunch of teams.
I'm
I
not
think they can
convinced
beat.
they're getting the 2. I may go against the grain here and go under.
You don't think so? I mean, they can win at Auburn. They can win at Arkansas. They can win at Oklahoma. They can beat Texas A&M at
They're
home.
going to
I
win.
like their schedule. Playing all those games on the road, those teams are going to get – I mean, they're going to be ready for Missouri, right? Like, and I get it. Mizzou had a really good portal class, and Drinkwitz is a great coach and all that kind of stuff. And y'all are probably right. I just think this is a little sharper than what we're giving it credit for. Playing at Oklahoma, at Arkansas, at Auburn, all those teams are going to be desperate, have desperate coaches.
Oh, I think
Brent
Arkansas
Venables
fired their coach by that point, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They might have, but Freeze won't be fired by then,
No,
and neither will Venables. And they get, well, and Alabama at home, and South Carolina could lose both of those games.
but they could go 1-3 at home in the SEC. They could, yeah.
Sharp line.
Yeah, they were one of my locks. I mean, it is sharper than probably I'm giving it credit for because that is a tough. That's like, I mean, that's 3 losable home SEC games. I just think
would
they're
love
winning.
for it to be flipped, right? I would love them to have Auburn, Oklahoma, those teams at home, go to Alabama, lose it,
Yeah, they go 4-0 at home. If that was
go to Mississippi State, beat them there. Like you're kind of wasting a home, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Honest.
All right, everybody go.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, Texas A&M 7.5.
I don't know the schedule.
I don't either. I'm going to say over, just because of the 8-4 joke. I mean, I think Marcel Reed's solid.
They get
they
to
play
Notre
better.
Dame. That's kind of the trip. Yeah.
The Kevin Concepcion kid's real deal. They're going to throw to him a lot. And Elko, I think he's a good coach. The defense will be good under Elko. It just kind of depends on what the development of Marcel Reed is like. Is he going to take a big step? I mean, he had some flashes last year, but then he looked like a freshman. So,
what's the total here?
7.5.
7.5.
I think I'm gonna have to go under 7.5. I've got losses. The following losses: at Notre Dame, 1.
Yeah. Maybe Florida.
At Missouri, 2.
LSU, Missouri.
At LSU, 3. At Texas, 4. And then at South Carolina and Florida home for 5.
Yeah. This one's tight.
I'm a slight over here. I don't
I
have a
think I
lot
am
of
too.
I don't have a lot of faith in Reed, but dude, I think they've got maybe the best offensive line in the SEC and probably the best running game. So I think they turn around and hand the ball off 50 times a game. And I trust Elko to figure it out on defense. I mean, they've got bodies over there. I don't think they'll be bad, but I don't think they're going to win like 10 games, but I can find I can find eight here, I think relatively easily. Uh, so yeah, I think it's eight. Look, I think some of these that we're calling toss-ups, like I don't know that Auburn is a toss-up at A&M September 27th.
Oh, I gave them a win against Auburn, and
Okay.
then we're still at 7-5 on my book.
Yeah, I don't I'm not
At
I'm
Notre Dame.
okay.
All right. Let's go through the schedule.
The only sure loss, as in the only game that they're going to be a dog of seven or more in is Notre Dame, right?
Texas.
No,
Texas. You
no,
don't think 7 at Texas?
I don't think so.
This guy's buying into the Texas A&M hype again, man.
I don't think so. I don't think they're a dog, and we'll see. I mean, that's at the very end of the year, so
Yeah, it
like,
is. It
who knows?
is. I
Uh,
just of all the quarterbacks, I don't think Marcel Reed is bad, but
no,
is he the
I don't think he's.
worst quarterback in the West? I
mm,
mean, who would you maybe State's quarterback, Blake Shapen?
Yeah, I think he's probably. I think I'd probably take Reed over Shapen just for injury reasons. Shapen can't stay healthy.
Maybe Oklahoma's quarterback.
Yeah, we haven't even seen him yet. I don't know. I don't know what to do with him. I
Yeah,
don't know.
right, right. I mean, I think Reed's going to be a great player. I just right now, it's like, do you want Austin Simmers or Marcel Reed? Do you want Garrett Nussmeier or
Yeah,
Marcel Reed? Do you want Arch Manning or Marcel Reed? Obviously, you want Arch
yeah.
Manning. Jackson Arnold. Like,
No, I can't go that. But look, okay. But now ask me this: whose offensive line would you rather have? Texas
no, I
A&M?
agree with you. I agree with. Look,
Yeah,
talent's never been the issue.
yeah,
I'm not. They just,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
the
just they
keep in
spend too much
All right, so
energy
let's
and
go back to the
formation in the
question
morning.
of the who are they dogged against? So let's assume y'all are right. Let's say Notre Dame and Texas. Let's say they're dogs of seven or more to Texas. Who else are they dogs of seven or more to?
But
I
by the
think
way,
it's probably
Bill Connolly
five
has
and a
it
half or
at
6.5 at LSU.
Bill Connolly just has it at 8 for Texas, so like or 8.4. It's pretty spot on there at 7.
Yeah,
It's not
Yeah.
far off. Where they're at LSU, that'd be that's looking at 5
yeah. I mean
Yeah.
that's
according to his
Yeah.
numbers.
What are they at Arkansas?
they're 10 and a half is my guess.
yeah.
At Arkansas,
Arkansas is going to be dog shit this year.
I, I think y'all it's gonna amaze y'all at how close it actually is. They're at Arkansas, is that right?
Yeah,
Yep.
eight and a half. Let's say eight and a half
So,
A&M.
so giving 3 to Arkansas is gonna put 12. 6 is what it's.
If I'm laying six, I lock it in now.
Lay
What's
it.
that? October
Yeah.
18th? Yeah.
Yeah,
And they play
yeah.
at Missouri. I'm telling you, that they'll probably go over 7.5. But because 7-5 is a bad year at A&M. But man, this is
They're
sneaky.
like I just been looking at a lot of computer numbers in the last couple weeks. The computers really like A&M, like a
Yeah.
lot more than I think I expected them to be liked.
Told
I
you,
mean,
dude.
Bill C's got them
Every year though,
at 13.
every year.
I mean, eight
Yeah,
and
I
four
mean,
is their birthright, Ben. They have to go over seven and a half. Eight and four
Yeah, true,
is
true.
destined.
They'll
Yeah.
be in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl or
Yes.
whatever it
Yeah.
is.
All right. Little ambitious. We're gonna cut it in half. So we're gonna do the other half of the SEC next week before we get into the big time slate. But we got some games this weekend. So let's go ahead and jump in and do some picks. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and kick us off with. I am going to take. Let's see, where is it? Let's go UNLV minus 25.5 against Idaho State.
The Dan Mullen coached UNLV
That is
running back.
correct. We all know how Dan likes to put up points when he can. Idaho State is absolutely terrible. It opened at 21.5, and I mean, it got up to 27.5. Now it's settled at 25.5. You're either going to have Alex Orji, the Michigan transfer, or Anthony Calandria, the Virginia transfer at quarterback. I don't think it's really going to matter who's under center. You're probably looking at least a 50 burger here because Idaho State is terrible. So I'm laying them.
Yeah, I think their team total is worth a look. UNLV's team total. I don't have it up, but I think he's going to play both quarterbacks, meaning they're going to be trying the entire game. Like I don't think he takes his foot off the gas, and Damlon's an asshole. So this is gonna be like 52-14 or something.
And he's going to want to energize that fan base and try to get some hype going.
Yeah.
All right, we're going locks around the horn.
Yeah, just everybody just jump in.
All right, I'm gonna go a little off the beaten path here. Western Kentucky is they're laying a 10 against Sam Houston, who, according to Bill C and FPI, Sam Houston's a better team. So I don't really know why this would be, other than Sam Houston is their third year in FBS football, so maybe people are just not exactly keen on that one. But Sam Houston's getting 10 points against a Western Kentucky team that's not very good. This is not a Western Kentucky team that you guys, that we grew up on. This is not like a spunky hilltopper team that could kind of come up and beat you. They're 120th in the SP plus. They're not good. And he's got Sam Houston at 116. Sam Houston, like pretty decent offensively. Western Kentucky doesn't do anything well. So now their defense, Sam Houston's is bottom of the country, literally last. So that could be a porous. Maybe you want to go over, but I'm thinking Sam Houston plus 10. They're not getting whipped that game.
Okay. So I'm gonna piggyback here. You know who Sam Houston's coach is now, right?
Oh yeah. Longo. He's airing it out.
The Phil Longo. Yeah. Their defense is going to be
Oh.
absolutely atrocious, and Longo is going to do what he does and like never punt and go 900 miles an hour no matter what the entire game. So I want Western Kentucky team total over 30.
Mm.
Over
Well,
30.
you want Western Kentucky oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't hate it.
Well, hold on, wait a second. Actually, hold on. That's not the team total. That is first half over 30. Western
Okay.
Kentucky, Sam Houston, first half over 30. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I like that. And just looking at it, they've got Sam Houston at 66 nationally offensively and 135 on defense. Like that's a big step up in how good their offense is. They're gonna put some points. And this will be a fun game Saturday. Two bad teams.
I'm pretty sure that I was trying to find the stat. I like just saw it.
Western Kentucky's bad defensively.
Yeah.
Like that's a team that 96 nationally in total defense, 129th against the run. And Sam Houston was top 35 in rushing a year ago. Now, different coach, but quarterback's back, which he was the leading rusher in terms of touchdowns a year ago. But yeah, pretty much what everything Austin said with Longo. Like, look, I know everybody makes the jokes when he was at Ole Miss, but like when he found a weakness and was able to expose it, he did damage.
Just spam it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean the selections for week 0 are absolutely terrible. So I'm gonna dumpster dive with Nick here and do Stanford under 26.5 team total against Hawaii. I don't know if Stanford could score 27 points in 6 quarters. I think they're going to be atrocious offensively.
Correct.
I don't think Hawaii's great defensively. I just need them to keep Stanford under 27 points. I think that's manageable. Frank Reich is going to call like a NFL style offense, I'm sure too, which is not going to help put points on the board. I don't expect him to be innovative or anything. They're going to 3 yards in a cloud of dust and punt and probably try to win a defensive game. So let's go Stanford under 26.5.
Probably the best team that Timmy Chang has had so far. The
Low ball, but yeah.
quarterback's fun as hell. Michael
Yeah.
Aliado, he threw for 469 yards and 5 touchdowns against New Mexico last year.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be true run and shoot. Like it's gonna be fun. That'll be a fun game to watch.
All right, time for me.
Yeah.
So Scott Frost is back at UCF, and I am going to take them minus 16.5 against Jacksonville State. He got
they-
Taven Jackson, is his name, the quarterback
Yeah,
from Indiana.
Indiana kid.
Yeah, transferred in. He's going to make a statement. Now he's back at UCF, run the score up on Jacksonville. Who did Rich Rodriguez leave for Arizona? Did I
West
read that
Virginia.
right? Yeah.
West Virginia. Yeah.
West Virginia.
Sorry. Yeah. So
Another homecoming.
Yeah. Give me UCF on the lay 16.5.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here and grab this one. I'm gonna go Kansas minus 12.5 versus Fresno State. Yeah, I Jalen Daniels is back. He's been with Lance Leipold for a while now. Opened at 14, it's down to 12.5. But Fresno State's basically got like a whole brand new team. They hired Matt Entz from North Dakota State, but 70% of the offensive production and 8 starters on defense are gone.
Mhm.
Fresno State. Yeah, I like Kansas here. I think Kansas is going to be kind of sneaky this year. 5-7 last year, disappointing. They had a lot of close losses, a lot of one possession games. But yeah, I like what Jalen Daniels can do when he's not being an idiot and turning it over constantly. Like I think him and Leipold have a good rapport. So yeah, I think this should be an easy dub here.
This is their ribbon cutting for their new stadium too, right?
Yes. Yeah. I just sent that drone footage. It's sick.
Yeah. So crowd should be lit,
Yeah.
which you can't often say for a Kansas football game. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't mind that.
I really don't have any more picks for week 0 for me. Like this is,
Yeah, I think
if I were going to pick one, I think I would take NC State and lay 11.5 against ECU.
Do it.
Bit of a payback game, even though I don't know if that matters now in the portal era. The ECU beat them last year in the Military Bowl. But the line opened at 14 and has crashed down to 11.5. I like grabbing spreads that have come down that far. And so, take the free 2.5 points, but I'm not going to bet it.
so. The big one is Farmageddon, but it's over in Ireland.
Yeah.
I'm taking K-State -3 on that one. I think they're
You're
a
locking
lot
it?
better than
Yeah.
Iowa State.
Wait, you're-
yeah.
Ben, you're not taking NC State?
No, you can put me down for NC State. That's fine, but I don't love any of the games this week for me to put real money on it.
I'm big on K State.
Yeah.
I think another Avery Johnson, another year in the system. I think he's going to be a lot of fun this year.
Y'all wildin', man.
I took
Just-
Iowa State at 3 in the hook earlier in the summer. Not a large bet. Now I don't know. I think it feels right. It's one of those things for me. Matt Campbell as a dog with months to prepare, catching over 3. That's an auto bet for me. 3 and under. I don't know. It
It's
feels right.
kind of wild because people kind of forget Iowa State was 11-3.
I was gonna say nobody. I bet most of our audience would not have guessed their record last year. Like
12 starters are back.
sneaky good record last year.
I just like K State. I don't know why.
Well, it's the off-season effect of Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Kansas State. They just get the benefit of the doubt from guys like y'all.
Some of the most underrated uniforms in the game.
Definitely the most NFL-looking color combo in college football.
Yeah.
Like the silver helmet. It's very
Yeah.
NFL-ish.
Nobody wants to get on Elon and Duke or Oklahoma State, UT Martin.
Those are sickos games. That's way worse than sickos. UT Martin and Oklahoma State is just a beatdown.
I'm going to be worse going forward at the beginning of years because I don't even know the players on I don't know who transferred where. I've got no feel for anybody. Like Oklahoma State, I would normally be like, well, they're going to lay the 34.5 against Martin, but I mean, we have their best receiver.
Yeah.
I got 2
And
more.
a quarterback of theirs.
I got
He
I got
transferred to just at the bench at Ole Miss. Man,
No,
that
I'm
would be.
saying we have their freshman quarterback from last year too. He's like
Oh
third string.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah. Fourth
I got
string man.
I got two more. Um,
Zach, how are you finding plays in this dog shit?
dude,
come on.
We get a D2 game over here.
Spraying the board. I'm going Minnesota minus 15 over Buffalo.
You know what?
Okay,
Actually, I want to. Okay, just for the sake, let's keep it interesting. I'm going to go head to head with you on that. Give me Buffalo.
All right. Can you name one player on
Buffalo's team.
Nope. But I think they're probably the best team in the MAC, and I just don't think Minnesota is in the tier where they can lay multiple scores against another conference
Big
winner,
scores, yeah.
Fair.
especially with their style of play. Like they don't run and hide from anybody. They win
Yeah.
by 7 to 10 points, even against like bad teams.
Um,
Nobody wants Stony Brook, San Diego State.
I thought about it. I'm gonna go Nebraska. I'm laying it with Nebraska.
I do like that.
People are high on Nebraska this year.
Here we go. They were
Matt-
high on them last year. and
Blue
the year
blood
before.
Nebraska. Blue blood Nebraska. Because what they
Nebraska,
did.
Kansas State, you name it.
They got Dylan Raiola. At some point, Matt Rule is going to figure it out, or he's not. So, like, if it doesn't happen this year, it's not going to happen.
It's not a Matt Rule problem. He's one of the best coaches in college football.
mean,
it is not a Matt Rule
But
problem. It is a
I think they.
Nebraska is in the middle of a cornfield problem. There's no speed there. There's no speed there. They're all white. They're all white, guys. You can't win in college football being all white. Not unless you're and not only that, but Iowa cannot be good and Nebraska also be good. I mean, Iowa has been taking some like the white cornerback that plays in the NFL now, but like all the fastest 85 white guys in the country play at Iowa or somewhere neighboring to Nebraska. They don't get that player anymore.
I just.
No offense to the white guys out there. I am one. There's just no speed in Omaha.
I'm offended as shit.
Like,
I
I don't know. People that know more about Nebraska than me have said that, watch your ass with Nebraska. And I mean, Cincinnati's not good.
That's the other thing, man. Like, at what point do we say Scott Satterfield just,
yeah, it's kind of done.
he's
Right.
washed? Like,
Yeah. B. Brown
insofar as
did
he
the
ever
right thing
wasn't.
getting out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's
I
going
mean,
to
I know it's a step up to go to Ole Miss, but he did the right thing finding another job.
Yeah. I think
Nobody's-
he's washed.
Nobody's going to touch.
Oh, never mind. That's going next week.
Nebraska, give me a break.
Oh, hold on. The fucking
They'll have 80,000 at the game though. I got
Vegas.
to give them credit.
That's
Vegas.
a neutral too, isn't it? In that neutral site?
Vegas.
Or
Didn't
no?
they move
Vegas-
that to like Kansas?
Yeah, it's at Arrowhead Stadium. So there's going to
City,
be
yeah.
like 65,000 Nebraska fans there.
Oh yeah.
Never mind. Vegas Insider has everything all lumped into week one.
Mm.
So
Have you ever?
all the last couple games I picked are not until next week. So scratch.
Oh yeah, I may have. The game I picked may have been next week, and if that's the case, then because I wasn't paying attention.
No,
That's
yeah, I
case
mean,
in point.
no, y'all picked some Thursday games, but like I don't, depending on when the pod airs next week, we may need to go ahead and do Thursday games.
If you've ever talked to a Nebraska fan, they still are. They're like what Alabama fans were before Nick Saban got there. They truly believe that this is the year. Every year,
Every year.
like they won that much with Tom Osborne.
You
That
remember?
they truly believe.
I gotta find it. Do you remember that video that came out early in the year last year of them in the locker room? There was some hip hop song that was playing. It was a badass video. Like it got me hype. And
I seem to remember that.
I don't think Nebraska is hype at all.
And then they won 6 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they don't have Tommy Frazier, man.
The
Like
video, Eric Crouch isn't walking through that door.
no.
Thunder Collins is not running the ball.
Thunder College.
Go look at those old early '90s like tapes, and it shows the pictures of the offensive line, like the necks. You can't even play at that size anymore.
Remember the fullback that played with Eric Crouch, Judd Davies.
That's an
Dude had a
Nebraska ass football name, Judd
dude.
Davies.
He wore number 4 and had a huge neck roll.
Probably have like a cross, like a nose bar to like, you
No
know.
question.
Dude,
He's saying,
that was like Ahmad Green played running back there and wore like the lineman face mask.
oh yeah,
He probably drove like a combine to campus, like to go to class in.
but again, those guys play at Iowa now. They play at North Dakota State now.
Mm.
Yeah, he just drove his 4-wheeler up. Actually, Ahmad Green probably drove a 3-wheeler.
Y'all know what would
Honda three-wheeler.
before we sign off, y'all know what
Super
would
safe.
just suck is if somebody like Warren Buffett just dropped like 10 billion
Oh my
for NIL in Nebraska.
That would suck.
Yeah, that would not be cool. All right, what is cool is that college football is back this weekend. I'm gonna watch as much as I can. I can't wait. Very excited. Excited to be back doing the pod. Appreciate everybody tuning in last week. Numbers were pretty damn good. But yeah, so we're back. We'll do second half of the SEC preview next week, and then we'll get into the big opening weekend. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So for Nick, for Ben, and for Austin, I'm Zach. This has been Hit That Line. Shout out to Zen for powering the show, and we'll talk to y'all next week. We out of here.